Girl, why does it take you so long to pick up my calls? I'm in a rush, okay? Tonight, I'm going out with my friend. We're gonna celebrate getting 5K subbies in the house. So excited. 5,000 misfits. Say what? Now look, I wanted to chit chat with you. We haven't chit chatted in a long time. It's like it's been a year. And I actually want this to be like a part of our relationship. I want to be FaceTiming you a lot more. Now, I know that we're currently in the middle of a challenge, 21 videos in 21 days. And I just decided, since we have mostly women here anyway, let's just FaceTime. Let's just have a cute time. Now, you're probably wondering, why am I barefaced? It's gonna be a get ready with me. Like I said, I'm going out. I want to look cute. And why should I hide it? Why should I hide my getting ready process from you? So let's chat. Let us chat. We are overdue for a catch up. I have been meaning to call you and just let you know, like, what's been going on. Where am I now? Like, last time we spoke, essentially, I was having a crisis, right? Last time we spoke, I was having a crisis. I didn't want to be a Christian influencer content creator anymore. It's actually so funny to think back at that time. Yeah, girl, I was going through it. But look, so much has changed. As you know, I did end up taking that break. I traveled a little bit. I did some things, but now I think I'm definitely more in a place where I'm happy, I'm stable. I just finished a Daniel fast. Oh my gosh, that was like, people who say Daniel fast is not a fast, like they've never done it. They've never done it. 21 days. And like the real fast is like so strict. You're not allowed to have any processed food, any caffeine, that was the real fast for me. No caffeine, no meat, no sugar, no alcohol, nothing. I'm back in the rhythm. I'm back in the flow of everything. And don't judge me, guys. This is empty, but this Bobby Brown, oh my gosh, like, you're gonna see why I love it. It's literally like crack. Oh, can I say that? Oh, okay. Anyway, shout out to the few men that still like want to support me, and so you watch videos like this. I wanted to talk to you guys, but put it in a way that I think like a lot of people can relate, and also put it in a way where I kind of explain to you what was really going on. Now, when I was like thinking about, it's a brand new one as well. When I was thinking about making this video, like I was just kind of like, praying in my spirit, like asking God, like, Lord, what should I really want to chit chat with the people, but I kind of don't want to do like a proper like catch up, because I feel like I want to be more prepared for that, and I kind of probably want to do like a Q&A instead. And in a weird way, I know it's gonna sound so weird, but I feel like the Lord was like, tell them how you decided to marry me. I know, it sounds really crazy, but look, the Lord is like, tell them how you decided to marry me. Now, look, I know that this sounds absolutely crazy. What do you mean you decided to marry God? And it's like this, okay? I realized that I'm meant to be the bride of Christ, right? That's what we are as Christians. We are called to be the bride of Christ. But for a long time, I was dating God. I wasn't his bride. I wasn't his wife. He didn't have ownership to me. Does that make sense? It was like, even though, yes, like I was serving him, even though this is so bad. This is struggle city, fam. I need to replace it. Bullring, here I come. Guys, I love this foundation so much. Like, gosh. Okay, so yeah, like I was flirting with Jesus. I was flirting, like, although like, yeah, I was a servant, I kind of feel like I was like, he didn't own me. Okay, when, how do I say this? Yes, I gave my life to Christ. I do believe that I gave my life to Christ. I know that I gave my life to Christ. But at the same time, even then it was more like calling myself his girlfriend than calling myself his wife. And I want to explain like what I mean by that, or like how that looks. In my perspective, I feel like in a way I was kind of like dating God. And when I say dating him, I mean like, for example, like we'd have seasons of like going out together. And what that looks like is, you know, me spending a lot of time with him, being really infatuated, loving all the good feelings that he gives me. You know what I mean? Like in that season where God is just like showering me with like gifts and like blessings and stuff. And you know, like the gifts that he was giving me, I would say, or I would liken them to like spiritual gifts, right? I was finding out that I had all these spiritual gifts and they were like so nice, and even like earthly blessings. So my business was doing well. And then even when I decided to like stop doing that for a while and like go back to work, I still think even the place that I worked and like the relationship I had with my boss and my colleagues, like that was also God giving me like gifts and like blessings and all this type of stuff. However, when there was like a difficult season, like one that comes like when you're in marriage, I was ready to peace out. I wasn't showing him as much love as I did when we were like dating, or in, you know what I mean, like showing him the what a wife would show him. For example, we know that the scripture likens the relationship of Christ and the church, which is us, to a husband and wife. So like that submissiveness, that long suffering, that ability to not understand why he's saying something and do it anyway, there was glimpses of that in me, but it wasn't deep enough, or as deep as it should have been. And so like in dating, you know when you're dating someone and you're just spending so much time with them, and sometimes you get like kind of tired of it, and so you're just like, oh, I'll call you back, and you don't call them back. It was like me kind of saying to God, like, oh, I don't have time to pray right now. Oh, I'll pray in a little bit, I'll pray in a second. But did I ever come back to pray? Did he ever see me again?
God have mercy upon us.
Oh, it was shallow, it wasn't deep. I wasn't giving all of my traumas to him, and I was like avoiding him in a way. In the last kind of like chit chat video I did with you guys, I shared that I have an avoidant attachment style. Guys, I did not know how bad this thing was, fam. If I don't get a hold of this, yeah, I feel like I may never get married. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I do not want to comment.
Why?
That avoidant attachment style was coming out so much in my faith, in the sense that like, like getting really close to Jesus and then just pulling away. Someone can say, but that's just you being inconsistent. But I don't think it's as simple as me being like an inconsistent Christian, because I literally started feeling like overwhelmed. I started feeling overwhelmed with the voice of God, like how much I felt like he was speaking to me. I started feeling like, I'm not even good enough to be in the position that I was in. I didn't want to be like this person that represents Christianity in front of so many people. I felt like, I don't know if this sounds so crazy, but God doesn't know I'm not good enough to serve him. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, I'm going to do something that's going to expose how inadequate I am, and therefore I'm just going to pull away. And in that way, I wasn't allowing myself to be a wife, to be fully vulnerable before him. I wasn't allowing myself, or allowing him, the darkest parts of me. It's all good, to lift your hands and say like, oh, I'm gonna lift my hands and worship, and Lord, you can have it all, you can have it all, you can have it all. But at the same time, still withholding all of those dark emotions, the being not good enough, the feeling inadequate, and even things in the past And so I realized for a while there, I was flirting with God. I was flirting. I was keeping him at an arm's length. I wasn't allowing the relationship to be all that it could be in fear of what it could actually turn out to be. That's not going to work because I need to put powder on my face. However, guys, this very seasonal on and off relationship I had with God, I could tell that like he was getting tired of it as well. That's not what he wanted from me. Me and God had these really, I don't know, like, I know this is gonna sound so weird, but we'd have these really passionate encounters, or like these moments where I'm like, oh, without a doubt, like, God is real. This could not happen if God is not real, and all of these things and all of these things. But I would tell him that, like, I want him. Like, I would tell God, like, oh Lord, I want you. Like, I want more of you. I want to experience you more. And when he would call me into that, into having that more, by like inviting me to read his word more, or like giving me prompts to be more in the scripture, by giving me prompts to be more in the scripture, for example, I wasn't coming. I was like ghosting him. I was ghosting God. I realized like being his bride, and I mean like actually being his bride, would require me, like the same way like a wife changes her last name, is the same way like he would have to change my complete identity, which also means an erasure of my past. Does that make sense? So like the Lord changed my first name, right? To me, I know that when he called me by a different name, and that was fine. But like my surname was still the same. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And so it was like there was a new version of me, but then there was also the old version of me that was still there. And every now and again, I would tap into it. I would explore her, who she was, the things that she used to enjoy. And I always found it really difficult. Not really difficult, but there would be certain things that I would just find, like, or certain seasons, I would just find like it was so much easier to go back to the things that I once enjoyed doing, even though they weren't always things that the Lord liked or that I knew that he found acceptable. I remember him, and this is the thing, man, the Lord is so, he's much more patient than we can ever imagine that he is. He's much more patient and loving. Like, imagine the most patient, loving person you know, and the Lord, like, they have nothing on the Lord. Like, the Lord surpasses them so many times. And I remember praying to him and just saying, like, God, I am so ashamed of myself. Like, I would get it if you don't even want me to serve you anymore, because look, I would fire me. Like, if I worked for me, I already know how to get the boot. So like, you just let me know. And I know you guys saw for a while there, like I wasn't on any social medias. I wasn't anywhere, because in my eyes, I was like, no, I deserve to be fired by God. I'm not gonna lie. He needs to pull the plug like today. But I remember him saying to me, when you go back into those seasons or those behaviors, I want you to begin to write down what is happening during that time. And I found that times where I felt inadequate, or times where I felt sad, depressed, all these types of things, times where like there was a lot of pressure, I would fold. Here I am, mainly thinking like, oh, I've got a sin problem, like I love this sin. And it's like, no, I know I don't love this sin, but for so long it's been a coping mechanism for me. For so long it's been what I would revert to in times of stress, and whether it's a form of self-sabotage, or like a way to punish yourself, I just found myself doing all of these things. And the Lord was so incredibly patient by showing me, now, are you willing Are you willing to not hide that part of yourself from me anymore and let me heal it? Because if I don't heal it, you're always going to go back to those things. If I don't take over the things that like the reasons you're running away from me, if you don't allow me to take those things over, you will always be running from me. And not only will you always be running from me, like there will, like, nothing good will come in your life, because every time something good comes, you will sabotage it. And I was doing that. I was sabotaging it so much. And so becoming God's wife in a way, or taking my position as the bride of Christ, it wasn't just this act of like blind obedience or like submission unto death. Although yes, that's what it is, but it didn't manifest that way for me. It manifested as complete surrender to not only the best parts of myself, but the worst parts of myself. When somebody gets married, they don't marry only the good. They say in sickness and in health, right? They say for richer, for poorer. But we think that when Christ calls us to be his wife, he's only looking to date us. Meaning, when you feel like showing up with the best of you, you show up with the best of you, right? That's what you do in dating. You know, you don't feel very well, you feel sick, so you say, oh babe, can we reschedule the date? I don't feel good today. Or babe this, or babe that. And it's always like you want to put your best foot forward. But God was telling me, like, yeah, you've got some good feet. You will put your best foot forward, but I need more than that. I need the times where you feel like you cannot pray, for you to still come into my presence and just say, I don't feel like praying, but I'm here. I want you to be so vulnerable to tell me the things that you refuse to even look at in your past, and bring them before me and let me touch them, let me heal them. It has not been easy to also realize that, like, I don't know, to also realize, like, God's not taking away my bad desires. I was staying away from God for a while because there's things I wanted to do that I knew were wrong. For example, yeah, let's say, I'm trying to think about an example. No, okay, let's just say there's a sin. There's one that I was struggling with. I was really struggling with. This one, I'm not gonna lie, this one I kind of enjoy doing it. And so I was like, God, please make me not want to do this thing anymore. And when the opportunity would come, I'd be doing it. I'd still do it. And I was wondering, what? The Lord is not answering me. The Lord doesn't want to answer me. He doesn't want to take away my desire to do this sin. Like, what the heck? And then I remembered something. I remembered that, you know, when a man and a wife get married, your eyes don't close, your eyes don't shut. You know, if you married your husband because they're your type, because like he's tall, he's dark, he's this, he's that, he's fine, yeah, those same eyes, they will still be available in marriage. They don't go blind. You don't get blind. The Lord wasn't going to take away my need, my desire for every sin. Why? Because I'm of sinful nature. But he was looking for me to now not automatically fold. I want to do this thing, but I won't do this thing. Why? Because God says no. And it's simple as that. Oh, I want to do this sin, but I won't do this sin. Why? Because God says no. That's what he was requiring from me. But I just wanted him to take away everything. But am I a bride then, or am I just like a slave? Am I just like a slave? I'm beginning to realize that my eyebrows are not looking like sisters. Anyway, what was I saying? I think that the Lord was trying to show me, like, hey, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay here, stay with me. No, I am not going to take all of those things away. Some of them, yes, I'm going to take them away to make it easier for you. But some of them, no, you're going to learn how to live with them. You're going to learn how to overcome them. You're going to learn how to die to your flesh daily, how to remain loyal to me, your husband. Hold on one second. And so it has just been a journey of me really just choosing God, choosing God, choosing God. And like, you know, when you go from like dating to marriage, you have to cut off all the other ones. And again, it's like everybody else who was pursuing you, you have to cut them off. And so, guess what? Sorry, I really like to bathe myself. Hold on. Guess who got cut off? All the other ones. All the other ones that could have been it. And what do I mean by that? The things of this world, the things of this world, the things of this world. As Christ's wife, my responsibility daily is to think about how I can, hold on, how, come on now, how I can spend each day best serving Him, how I can wake up each day and best serve Him to be the best wife that I can be each day that I am alive. Not to, not to, I know this is gonna sound so crazy, but like, not to wake up and prioritize selfish ambition, selfish desires, things that really don't matter. Like there's a verse that says, before you even pray, the Lord knows what you need. And so I'm not going to lie to you, but I feel like a good husband provides for you. A good husband cares about you. A good husband is willing, like, you don't have to ask your husband every day, oh my gosh, we need food in the house. Can you go get food? Like, no. He knows what you need, and therefore, every day he is willing, and therefore, every day he is willing to provide that. And just realizing, like, I don't have to spend my life. The other day, something crazy happened. I don't even remember what I was listening to. I don't remember. Let's use something dark in my eyes. Let's use something dark in the edges. I just want something a bit more smoky because it's nighttime. The other day, I don't remember what I was watching. I just ended up saying, you know what? I think I'm going to give God my ambition. I think I'm going to give it to God. Oh, it was this video, actually. It was this video. I forgot which lady was talking, but she was just talking about putting things that are important to you on an altar and just allowing God to have his way with it. And for me, ambition has been such an important thing to me to the point where it has literally crippled me. Feeling like I'm not living in my fullest potential, feeling like I could be doing more. And that's why I feel like I love doing challenges because it's a lot of exerted energy all at once and it pushes me. And so I just said to myself, like, I'm just gonna give Christ, I'm just gonna give Christ my ambition. And what that means is I'm going to show up daily doing things that I know should be done, but without the expectation of getting something back. Does that make sense? Let me focus. Hold on, give me one second.
What you need is just an offering. It's right here. My life is here. I'll be a living sacrifice for you. You're the fire. You're the fire.
I bought this black eyeliner. I'm realizing I should have bought a brown one. I should have bought a brown one because I feel like it may be too dark for my eyes or it may be like too much black. But I think I know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I'm gonna smoke it out. I'm gonna smoke it out. All right, let me do all the other bits and bobs and then I'll come back and we'll finish our chat. Yeah, I was able to do a few things. I'm thinking that the black underneath my eyes is too sharp, but I don't have anything I don't have anything to try and smoke it out with. So I think I'm going to try and put a bit of like brown eyeshadow underneath my eyes. It's either going to look amazing or it's going to be an epic fail. But I don't have the proper brush, so all the makeup artists out there, don't judge me. I don't have the proper brush with me at the moment. It's not really coming out though. I knew I should have put brown liner, not a black liner. Anyway, I tried a different headscarf style today. It's a bit extra. I don't know whether I'm going to wear a dress or like some trousers yet, but I don't think I have a dress that like suits this. Hold on, let me line my lips. I want to try a different thing today. Hold on. Let's play some music whilst I do that.
Soften up the mess, drop it in the water, let the daughter find an image with the rest. She'll be learning how to breathe, spinning through identity.
I feel like my friend's gonna give me something that's gonna make me cry. I don't know.
Hold a hand and don't believe a lie.
Should I allow the dip?
Walk her down the valley, pack a piece of heaven for the bottoms of her feet. Teach her how to jump and how to stretch when she
I'm gonna just draw
like
over
the
it.
angels do, and you gon' make it through now. Tell about the healer.
I'm thinking to myself, how do I basically want to summarize this video? Essentially, I feel like one thing I have learned is that this year I'm going to give my all to Christ. I'm going to give him my all, and not my partial, not my most of, but really my all, even if that means that it triggers, it's triggering. Let me know, guys, if you want to do a Q&A. Do you know one thing I always wanted to do, like back in the day? As I wanted to do like a TMI Q&A. I've always been a bit of an oversharer. I bought these two lip glosses, but I feel like they're exactly the same. They look exactly the same, right? Let me see if I can show you. These are the two that I bought. But I am going to wear the darker one. But I just feel like I want something as a base on my mouth before I put the darker one on.
Teach her how to hold a pretty hand up to the sky, and never wait upon the giver, he'll deliver like a dealer. Take her high.
Something about me that you may not know is I absolutely dread doing lip. Every time it comes to the lip portion, I'm full of dread. I'm full of fear. Really, truly, I'm scared. Okay, let's see. Let's see.
Higher, higher.
I don't know if this is going. I don't know if it's giving what I wanted it to give or what it was supposed to have given. Let me see if I put something like light. But this is not even light also. Hold on. It's a wrap. It's a wrap sandwich. That's as far as it's gonna go. Anyway, I hope that like when we get to heaven, God, I don't know, takes away like all of our memories of earth, because I just won't know. I feel like everybody else would be like partying and like celebrating and stuff. And I'll just be in the corner thinking about like, was that even necessary? Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'll literally be in the corner just thinking like, oh my God. People be walking on the streets of gold and I'm gonna be taking a stroll down memory lane thinking about all the ghetto things I did whilst I was on this rock. And from that point it's over. Like, sometimes I think if I get to keep my memories of earth, I might get deported from heaven. I might get deported because the way the memories will be attacking me. But you know what, comment down below who you guys would be excited to see in heaven. Like, who will you see in heaven? Like, okay, God says like, oh yeah, you're here. Like, who are you running to? Are you guys running to a family member? Or are you running to like a Bible character? Who are you running to? I don't even know who I'd run to. Now, let's try some softer lighting because I feel like you guys are getting the worst of it. Like, let's try some softer lighting. How's that look? This is the finished look. I don't know how I feel, guys. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel. Maybe I don't feel as great because like there's not like my whole outfit. I'm gonna take pictures tonight. But anyway, thank you guys for chilling with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. The main takeaway I want you to get is Christ loves you so much, and he wants to be everything in your life. He doesn't only want you when you're at your best, he wants you when you're at your broken too. Don't run away from him every time you do something bad or you feel like you're not good enough, and then you give that version of yourself to the enemy.
3 hours later.
Okay, hey guys. So it is midnight and I've just come back. I don't know if you can see my face, but I cried. I cried so much. So like I said, I went out with a really good friend of mine. I feel like I don't know what to say because I feel like it's gonna make me cry again. But they bought me like a bunch of like gifts. There's a bunch of gifts here. I can't show you all of them. Some of them are really sentimental and like private, so I can't show them. But the one gift that I did get that made me so emotional was this one. Let me push out a little bit so you can see it. Okay. To celebrate me, they screenshotted your guys' comments on my videos, on like a bunch of like all of these are all comments on my videos, and they printed them out one by one. And when I cried, sorry, is this one here. I'm gonna call her out because I know she's gonna watch this. Lesejo. Oh my gosh. So there is an amazing woman named Lesejo who 1 year ago, oh my god, I'm gonna get so emotional. 1 year ago, she messaged or she commented, because I think I used to start off my videos saying like, oh, let me know. It's like, if you're returning misfit, let me know, or something like that. And she commented, hi, I am a new subby here. Thank you for sharing. Enjoyed this heart. I believe I'm in my isolation era right now. This was 1 year ago. After this, I believe this is when she joined the mentorship, and I think her testimony is actually on my Instagram, but this is when she joined the mentorship, and it just makes me so emotional because like I've just enjoyed having her in my life, like talking to her even after the mentorship and everything, and just watching her growth and the way that she just grew in Christ. And to think that this is her first interaction with me is here, and there's a few other people actually that end up joining the mentorship whose comments are in here. And it's funny for me to think like at the time you wrote this you were complete strangers, and then boom, like I'm just so grateful. I am so grateful, and it just made me cry. I just knew I was gonna cry. I just want to take this time out, just say thank you guys. Like, thank you for your support. Thank you for your love. Thank you for the prayers. Thank you for those of you who've come onto all the live streams and who've joined the mentorship and who've worked with me. I just hope that this year I can produce amazing content for you guys and be of good and godly service. Yeah, I'm on cloud 9 and I'm going to keep this for literally ever. Like, I don't really want to move my camera around again, so I'm just gonna say goodnight like this. Thank you guys for watching. I love you, misfits, and I will catch you tomorrow.